Hello, welcome to another episode of Okay Karen.
Okay, Karen.
Okay, let's get started. This episode, we are doing our trips. We're going to go back and review some more trips. Yay. We have a special guest, Matt Bauer, Betsy's cousin, that has gone on several trips. We've gone on several trips together. Actually, we've gone on to 29 states together and 4 countries.
29 states with this guy in 4 countries. I can barely believe that we lived through it.
We're working our way up to heaven.
So he's going to be our first guest on the podcast. So we're branching out,
goes.
Trying new things.
Yeah, y'all asked for guests. We gave you a guest.
We'll see how it goes. Okay,
y'all might ask for another guest.
That might be the end of the guest. Okay.
But first, we got a shout out.
Oh, yes. Okay, so I have a shout out. I have an apology shout out. Okay. One of my friends who listened to the concerts, I talked about going to the Brad Paisley concert. If you haven't listened to our concert episode,
yes,
listen to it. We talked about concerts we've been to, our favorite ones. And I said a friend's brother had an extra ticket and asked if I wanted to go because they know I love Brad Paisley. Well, this friend, we're all 3 friends, us 3 girls. She was supposed to go, and she was like, well, she was just starting to listen to country music at the time. And she's like, well, Betsy loves Brad Paisley. So, and she was friends with the brother also, like good friends with the brother. And so she was like, you know what? Told the brother, how about you go with, would you mind taking Betsy instead of me? Because she loves Brad Paisley. Yeah. So she gave up her Brad Paisley ticket for me so I could go with the other friend's brother. And
that is so sweet.
Do that because the other friend was the one that called and said, hey, my brother has a ticket. But I think Marlene was supposed to be first. And then she said, no, ask Betsy instead. So isn't that sweet? Thank you, Marlene.
So nice.
She's also my goddaughter. Shout out Marlene, best goddaughter. Wow. Giving me Brad Paisley tickets. I mean, come on.
So it's a shout out and an apology. And
there you go. There you
Marlene,
go.
You're awesome.
Yes.
Oh, and her husband's pretty awesome too. He took notes during something and sent them to us. And
yes,
good job, Greg.
They're super fans. They're super fans right now.
They're moving up.
And then speaking of super fans, we have John Bauer, the most recent super fan, posting our podcast on Facebook, watching us on YouTube. His wife and him watching, I think together, they're enjoying it. So John and Marissa, thanks for watching and thanks for sharing on Facebook. Super fan status right there.
Super fan.
And John and Marissa have been on a trip with us as well. John's been on several, but John and Marissa together when they were dating came on this trip we're going to talk about today on Yellowstone.
They did.
Hopefully they enjoy listening to us reminisce about Yellowstone.
Yes.
Anyone
okay,
else?
so I don't think so. I think we're good. Same people, same people. So let's go.
Hey, Mama. Hey, everybody over there watching.
Mom. Yep.
Okay, we
Leslie.
are going to going to bring Matt on right now and introduce him and start talking.
Yes. Let's do it.
All right.
Is he here? I can't see him.
He's looking thrilled. Hey, Matt. Welcome to Okay Karen.
Hello, Matt. Welcome to Okay Karen.
So this is Matt Bauer. He is my cousin. He's a little bit younger than me, but not much younger than us. We are all the same age now.
We are.
Yes.
And
we're not saying our age, though.
No.
We don't need to talk about that. So the 3 of us, as Angel said, have been to 29 states together in 4 countries. We did a lot of traveling. We irritated each other a lot, but also had some really, really fun, good times in all the places we've been to. So today we want to talk about 2 of the trips we did. One was to Yellowstone, and the other one was to Smoky Mountains. And so Yellowstone was, I think, longer. It was a whole week, right?
Oh,
yes.
And we drove from St. Louis. We drove out. So that was an adventure.
Interesting.
In and of itself.
Yes. And because remember when we drove, there was a lot of flooding in the Midwest area. So some of the roads we had to go different routes because of the flooding. Do y'all remember that? Or am I just making this up?
I would like to say you're making it up, but you are correct.
Thank you. I am right. Thank you.
It was in Iowa. There was a lot of flooding.
I was going to look for every opportunity to call us Karens on this episode. So we're going to get ready because there are a lot of opportunities when we travel where maybe we are Karens, but Matt also can be a Karen. So let's
more
not
Angela than
I'll take
Betsy.
it.
Okay.
But this one was pretty good. The only time I would have had a Karen moment is when we slept in the car. Like, who planned that? Who planned it?
I planned this trip.
Yes, Matt planned most of including the cabin we stayed in, but I would like to say that on the drive out, my worst and most hilarious point of the drive out was at Mount Rushmore.
Oh,
Matt,
yeah. Don't
tell us what happened at Mount Rushmore.
All right. Well, we have to back up to let's start with Iowa with the floods. So we were in Iowa with the floods, heading to.
Don't do your hands.
Don't do this. Why? It's because I have. Okay.
It's okay, Matt.
It's okay, Matt.
I know.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Anyway, sorry. Thanks, Angela. We were Iowa in the floods and heading through South Dakota, and we were going to go. Well, some of us wanted to go to the Corn Palace.
Wait. Let's correct. Some of us or just you?
One person.
I think it was just me. I don't even know if.
No, don't blame John. Don't blame Marissa. No.
I know how to do this shout out, right?
That was all you.
Yeah, you're allowed to shout out, Matt.
Okay. Yeah, you can shout out
to my brother John and sister-in-law Marissa. Yes, I don't think you were too keen on going to the Corn Palace. I think it was only me.
Also, that put us way behind on time. So if we look at it, it's probably your fault we didn't get to see Mount Rushmore.
It's 100% Matt's fault.
Yeah.
So I'm just kidding. We saw it. We totally saw it. Go ahead, Matt. Tell them how we saw it.
Yeah.
So we went to the Corn Palace. It was amazing. I loved every minute of it.
It was better than Mount Rushmore.
It was lit up.
Actually, I wouldn't. Yeah, I would tell people, no, it's not worth it. But we did see the Corn Palace in daylight. In daylight, it was nice. And so then we started heading to Mount Rushmore, and I remember there was a lot of concern from other people that we weren't going to get there in time.
I actually didn't think anything of it. I was like, we get there late. That's okay.
I wasn't really too
Mount Rushmore.
Right.
I didn't realize that Mount Rushmore isn't.
Well, I wasn't too worried about it because I had already seen Mount Rushmore, so.
Changes the whole narrative.
But anyway, nice. So we got to Mount Rushmore, and it is getting dark, and I don't remember the specific details other than
I do.
I remember standing there looking at it, and I remember we were getting ready. All of us, I think, were getting ready to take pictures.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, we hear like ka-choom, and all the lights go off.
On the whole mountain. The
whole mountain. Yeah, because the mountain is lit up, so you can see Mount Rushmore. They turn off all the lights. You can't see it hardly at all. And then Angela goes, there was a park ranger that walks by.
No, it was a janitor.
Oh, it was a janitor.
It was cleaning the bathrooms.
It was someone that worked there that had a little bit more.
Between someone that works there and a park ranger. Yes, it was the janitor because it was 11 p.m.
And Angela says,
turns out the lights in Mount Rushmore.
I know.
I thought they were on the whole time.
Angela
They're saving electricity.
Angela says, "Can you turn the lights back on?" And I'm just like, I don't think this janitor here could just, the switch is right over here. I'll just go turn them back on.
Right.
He did answer and say no, but he did answer. But
he responded to you.
Yeah, that was nice of him. Someone had a really good camera because it was almost a full moon, so y'all were able to.
I did get a couple pictures.
Yeah.
But it was
John was the one that didn't get any because he was setting up his tripod. And he was like, going to get a really good picture. And then the lights went off right when he had it set up.
It was like the Chevy Chase movies, the Griswolds. Like,
we're
all putting it up. And
it was a really sad moment, but also it was really pretty hilarious.
It was pretty funny. Yes, it was pretty funny.
And you know what? After that, I was ready to leave. I didn't care about seeing anything else at Mount Rushmore. Because they had the little state things, where each state had its own. I'm about to insult some people. It's not that big of a deal.
especially in the dark.
Yeah.
Then we went and got, I don't remember what happened, but we went into Rapid City and we were going through a drive-through at like 1 a.m. to get food.
Because we were looking for a place to stay.
Or were we just like really loopy?
Were we
I don't
drinking?
remember.
No, we weren't looking for a place to stay because we kept driving and
we got to Devil's Tower.
We slept at Devil's Tower like 3 or 4 in the morning.
That's
got out and saw it.
Yeah, that's the place that looks really weird. I'm like, what in my pictures? What is the name of that?
Devil's Tower.
What is that in a movie or something?
Yes. Yes, Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
You should watch it with Richard Dreyfuss. It's really good.
There you go.
But I'm gonna write
recommendations.
I'm gonna write that down because I'm like, what is that thing?
Right, you should write down the name of the movie too.
No,
it's a good movie.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Matt, this is not a movie episode.
What if I told you it had? Oh, I'm sorry.
Bradley Cooper? Is Bradley Cooper in it?
No.
Just lie to her, Matt. Bradley Cooper's in it. He's about 8 years old.
I know my Bradley Cooper movies, and that's not one of them.
No, it's not.
Okay, so we get to Gardner, Montana, where we're staying in a cabin, not in tents.
It is, and I almost did not come on this trip, if you remember, because you were like, we're going to Yellowstone, and we had just done Southwest not too long, and I was like, nope, I'm not going. I'll catch on next trip. Ago. Was it 2 years?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
Well, Southwest just still haunts me.
It scars
you. Yeah, forever. So y'all said, no, we have a cabin. And I was like, okay, I could do a cabin. And it was a really cute cabin. Whoever picked it out.
House. I mean,
it was a house.
It's not really a cabin. And to anyone who's listening, it was like, Wi-Fi.
3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Yeah.
Plenty of space. Really
and
nice.
We met up with Jessica and Mark.
Yes.
We had 2 couples on this trip, one dating and one married. So Jessica and Mark my friends from Minnesota came out and joined us on this trip, which was a hoot. So they met us there.
Remember, Jessica had her car just packed with everything.
Yes.
A kitchen utensil she had in her car because she didn't know what the cabin had. Yeah. So she was super prepared.
Yeah. And then I don't think any of us were prepared with how big Yellowstone Park is. And this brings me to my travel tip for this episode, which is don't overplan. You need to plan some time in your schedule for the 4-day weekend or the week or something where you have a half a day break where people can go shopping or relax or catch up on something you didn't have time to do earlier in the week. Because this is a lot of the trips I've planned. We are busy like 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
the whole time.
Every day. And that's the difference between Yellowstone and then when we did Smoky Mountains, I was like, we're going to relax more. We're going to go to a winery. We're going to go, we're going to take some time and slow down because Yellowstone was so full because anytime we left Gardner, Montana, it was like an hour drive. Anywhere in the park was the shortest, was an hour drive to see.
Right.
And that's if you don't get stopped because there's buffalo
everywhere.
And there's it's very, very
the buffalo.
Crowded, so
yeah. The buffalo were everywhere.
Not just buffalo, but I remember getting behind slower vehicles and the roads are windy, hilly, and you cannot pass. So when Betsy says a minimum hour, I think that was like to Hot Springs. Like most of it was hour and a half, 2 hours to get to.
Yeah, for sure.
It was
I didn't drive in the park. Y'all didn't let me.
We are thankful for that after the Northeast trip where we almost wrecked it on the ramp. Remember that?
You mean where we went 2 wheels?
Yes, 2 wheels on a ramp. Me and Betsy decided after that, Angela's never driving again.
I think because Angela, no offense, and Matt is from a very flat area also. So yes. I was going to say Mississippi is very flat. Not that you're used to drive. We had this minivan and we were downshifting. We were going up and down mountainous areas, and you don't have a lot of experience with that. Now Matt doesn't either, but I feel like he has more car driving experience in general.
Is it true? I don't think so. I just think
that the guy. We're better at driving.
I sat in the back seat and just enjoyed.
And then you had to screw it up and say that. I I was on your side. I was saying Matt has more experience and is better driving these conditions, and then you say because you're.
I bet he doesn't have more experience. Anyway, back. We got to go back to Yellowstone. So
okay, back.
Buffalo everywhere, and then what are those things called that we went to? Those springs. Those spring things? Is that what it's called?
Matt, you're going to talk about these, not Angela.
Yeah, because I don't even know what we saw.
The hot springs.
The hot springs.
Were those the sulfur smelling things?
Yes.
Smell like rotten eggs?
Smell like rotten eggs, yes.
Yeah.
I love how you point out the really beautiful part of the amazing things you can only see in Yellowstone out of the whole country, Angela. And you're like, but they smell like sulfur?
Well, people, first of all, the only thing I knew that was in Yellowstone was Old Faithful. So everything else was a shock to me.
Did you not know there was mountains?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know anything in Yellowstone except Old Faithful. And then when we kept going to different things, I was like, look at there. Wow.
There's a lot of really, really cool things you can see in Yellowstone that you can't see anywhere else. So the hot springs are amazing and they're everywhere. Like it's not like there's like, oh, they're over here. And then the next day over here. And you're like, one of these things would draw a crowd, but there's like
there's so many
the hot springs and the geysers.
Because that morning glory one, that one was probably the prettiest. It was like orange and blue and yellow. Do you remember that one? Yes. That was my favorite.
I do remember like the colors were very bright and it was very clear. Like you could see down into the earth felt like a long ways. It was very clear, like almost like glass. They were very cool.
Good job.
And I'm sure it was even more shocking for someone like Angela that didn't even know that they existed.
That it was there. Yeah. My brother is so jealous that I've been to Yellowstone, especially that I've been to Yellowstone and I didn't even know what was all there. And I'm like, yes, I have.
Yes, I didn't know, but now I've seen it and you haven't. So there you go.
It is pretty. I do recommend Yellowstone to people. Unlike the Southwest trip. Yeah.
So wildlife is like a whole day you could spend. There, you can drive through a valley in the morning or at sunset times, and you can see bears. You can see tons of bison, elk. So people like wildlife also would appreciate Yellowstone.
We didn't see a what was it? A mountain goat. That's what we were looking for.
Or was it just Jessica wanted to see?
No.
I thought Betsy wanted to see it.
No, it was Jessica.
Oh.
Jessica was like, that was her big thing.
Betsy
remember sitting in the back seat with the binoculars?
Yes.
Yes. I have a picture of that. Her climbing the side of a mountain. And I think it actually says, there was a sign that says, do not climb here. And of course, Betsy climbs there, but.
You did the noise and everything of a goat. Do you want to recreate that?
Me climbing a mountain?
Yeah.
I'll back, as much as I hate to agree with Angela, I back her up on this one.
That's twice. That's twice.
That's twice. Yeah.
Okay, so driving Yellowstone can be difficult, can take forever, slow people, winding roads. It says it's 22 miles, expected to take you like an hour at least. Unless Betsy's driving and Matt Bauer makes a bet with her. Then it's going to take 26 minutes. Because Betsy's driving and it may start raining and you might be behind 3 campers or trucks with camper trailers they're hauling.
Oh, that's a lot. Yeah, that was a lot.
Didn't I offer to buy you something if you ran over an animal and you went after it? Do you remember that?
Matt bet me. You don't remember this, Angela? We were heading home and we were talking about going out to eat that night. And it said 22 miles. And I was like, Matt said, if you can do it in 30 minutes, I'll buy your dinner. And I was like, and everybody in the car was like, that's impossible. So of course I lay on the gas pedal and everybody's like, Betsy, all the girls.
Oh, I do remember that. Fine. Yes.
So we got behind 3 campers and Matt's like, this is never going to happen. Then it starts pouring down rain because you can't pass them because the roads are, winding and everything. And so he changes it. And he says, if you get around these 3 campers, then I'll buy you dinner. You don't have to do it in 30 minutes. And
I don't. Your mom is going to be flipping out though with this story, right?
Because my mom and dad have been to Yellowstone now, so they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy." So he said,
and my mom's going to be like, "Don't ride with Betsy."
If you hit any animals, I'll buy you a drink also. And I was like, woohoo! So that's the point when everybody in the van screamed. We were already like out. I think we were outside of the national park entrance.
We were.
But there was a rabbit like that goes across the road and went into like a parking lot, and I was like, "There's a rabbit!" Like I was gonna try and hit it and run off the road to hit it, and everybody's like, "Ah!" And then I think Marissa was upset. Somebody was upset. They were like, "You would kill a rabbit for a drink?" And I was like, "I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna kill a rabbit. Also, I'm not gonna risk all of your lives to drive off the road to kill a rabbit. I mean, come on. If they have to be on the road and I happen to hit it."
Right. I mean, it's just a rabbit.
So anyway, we got to the restaurant. I did pass all 3. I don't think I did it in 30 minutes. I think it was over 30 minutes, but
I think it was too.
Because he just liked to buy me dinner. This is a restaurant where someone asked if I was his daughter. Do you remember that, Angela?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now this was after was this our Grand Tetons day?
It might have been because we were all really tired. We got back late that night. It wasn't
Grand
that night.
Tetons, Marissa drove. That's another story where, go ahead.
So either way, because it was only like maybe 7, and we get to the restaurant, and I'm sitting by Matt, and we say the waiter asked about our bills or the check, who's on what check, and Matt's like, John and Marissa are like, oh, we're together, and Mark and Jessica, and then Matt's like, and I'm paying for hers, and then the waiter came back
and
later.
I was by myself.
Well, we were both by ourselves.
Things don't change.
So,
just for the record, me and Betsy were not together. Let's just stop.
Yes, Angela.
That's not the first trip. Not the first trip that's happened.
This is the first time that somebody thought I was his daughter.
Yes, that's true. Most of the time they think y'all are dating.
Yeah. So the waiter came back and said something to Matt, and then said, "And for your daughter." And everybody was just like, Matt was like, and I was like, "Oh, I'll have a Diet Coke, thanks." It was hilarious. It was so funny.
This must have been after we dyed your hair then. Because remember, Jessica and I dyed your hair.
That was the first time I ever dyed my hair. Was on a trip. Why? Why were we dyeing?
That was the first time you've ever dyed your hair?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
2011.
And you let us do it?
I was 31. Yeah.
Whoa, hey, no ages.
Hey, Matt, I'm bragging. I was 31 when I first dyed my hair.
Yeah, that's pretty good because I was
younger
than that.
You gave the year and your age. Now everybody knows how old we are.
Hey, Matt.
Listen to episode 1.
Hey, Matt.
They know
also,
how old
they
we
know
are.
that in 2011, people thought you were my dad. So that was 9 years ago, buddy. 9 years ago. So anyway, the best part about this is not that the waiter thought that I was Matt's daughter. That was pretty good.
There's a better part?
Yes. Matt went to the bathroom, and I was like, man, I can get anything I want. And I, because I was joking with Matt, because he said, whatever you want, Betsy, you earned it by your driving. That's what he said. And I said, what about a bison steak? And he was like, if that's what you want, I told you I'd buy it. And I was like, all right. Because, Matt's always throwing money at everything whenever we
Yes.
That's his solution.
This was single Matt. Married Matt doesn't throw money around anymore.
You don't?
No.
We don't need to go on any more trips together.
That's the only thing Angela liked about you.
Wow. Thanks, Angela.
Sorry.
So, anyway, Matt goes to the bathroom, and I'm talking to John. Hey, John, you'll remember this. And I'm like, man, I don't really want a bison steak. I really want it. We haven't had a lot of salad and vegetables on this trip. I'm like,
and you're a big salad person anyway because of Belize and all that.
I really want like a Caesar salad with chicken on it, grilled chicken.
Right.
On it. And John goes, Betsy, you are not getting a freaking salad when Matt is paying for you. And I was like, but I don't want a bison steak. And he's like, you get the bison steak. I'll get the salad. And then we'll switch.
Yes. You don't remember that, Bauer?
I remember it now. That's right. I forgot.
And when they ordered, you were like, John, you're getting a salad? It never registered yet.
He just looked Matt looked so confused, whereas everybody at the table knew what was going on.
Oh, yes.
The waiter's asking me, how I want my steak done. And I'm like looking at John like, medium. Okay. And then he's asking me outside, and I'm like, mashed green beans. Like, John is telling him what to say. And then when the food came, I started to take a bite. And John said, I cut steak and I took a bite of it. And John goes, at that moment, I thought, Betsy just screwed me over. I took one bite and I was like, I don't know if I like bison steak. And I was like, John, do you mind switching with me? And he was like, sure, I'll eat it. And we switched plates, and Matt's like eating. I think you had a bison steak too, Matt. And you're just eating, and all of a sudden you look, and you're like, wait a minute.
I
know. Yeah. I remember that now.
That was really good.
And you said John was going to pay you back, but I don't know if he ever did.
He didn't. I'm sure he did.
He probably owes you like $30. You need to go collect it from him.
Yeah.
John owes me a lot more than that, but that's, here and there.
Oh wow. Sorry, John.
Don't be safe, John.
That was a highlight of our Yellowstone trip. Sorry for the listeners. That probably won't happen exactly like that for your Yellowstone trip, but there's amazing things to see. So there's a Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. Don't forget about that. Remember, Angela? Yeah. It's like, it looks like a Grand Canyon. I mean, it's smaller, but.
I think I did remember it because I went through my pictures and I was like, that's pretty. But I didn't know that was the name of it.
You went through your what?
My pictures.
Pictures? Pictures? Or pictures?
It's the same word.
No, it's not.
In Mississippi, it's the same word, man.
Okay.
It's the same word.
Okay, back to Yellowstone. Sorry.
So I did not know that was the name of that. The Grand Canyon of Yellowstone.
And that's where you can see the lower falls and the upper falls. Two pretty big waterfalls there that are really pretty. You probably have pictures of those as well, Angela. So
I do. And they just look pretty. So I'm like, I'm going to have to write that down. Yeah. What else did we see?
We saw Mammoth Hot Springs.
What?
We saw lots of hot springs.
Oh yeah. Those are pretty.
The Mammoth Hot Springs, and that's where a lot of the wildlife was at. If you remember, you don't remember, Angela? Like there was at the Mammoth Hot Springs right there. There was also the gift shop. There was kind of like a.
Don't remember the gift shop.
The gift shop.
It was almost like a round. It was like a roundabout.
The circle.
That was a place where,
that's where all the deer were up in there.
Well, there was deer there all the time. Every day we went through there, and every day there was deer just hanging out there. You'd walk outside the gift shop, and there they were.
And they didn't they weren't scared at all.
No, they were very tame. So that that was really cool, where you could just see the wildlife up close like that.
Oh,
no. Go ahead,
can I say something? So we went during the summer, but I got to play in snow. Do y'all remember?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for a Southern girl, I was having a blast in the snow.
Yeah, the rest of us were kind of like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, I built
a little snowman. Was that your first time in snow? Like that kind of, like that much snow?
Oh, I'm sure. Because I don't see snow like that.
Right.
No, that was my first time playing in snow. And then remember, I was having a great time. And then we saw that big print of some type of animal. Do you remember that? And I was like, back to the van. I think I took a picture of it because then I was like, that's it. I'm done playing in the snow. Yeah. But I didn't really enjoy it.
We saw black bears.
Well, before you go on, maybe you're going to talk about this, Betsy, or not, but speaking of snow, it's not in Yellowstone, but just I think it's northwest of the park is the Beartooth Pass Highway. You remember taking that one day?
Is that the one that
I think that's where Angel saw the snow.
Is that where she saw the snow? Oh, I thought it was in the Yellowstone. Okay.
Well, I was trying to think of the drive.
It's only open a couple weeks out of the year.
It's a couple months, I think.
A couple months usually.
But
there was still snow there in July.
But I don't remember. John would know because he had his GPS watch, but I don't remember what the elevation was. I want to say it was over 11,000 feet. I mean, it's a beautiful drive if you're going to Yellowstone to take the Beartooth Pass Highway.
Yeah, and I do think it was Beartooth Pass where we stopped and we saw the snow that was piled up. Because I can't think of a drive within Yellowstone that's that high elevation.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So I think it was Beartooth. I was surprised in Yellowstone about how the geysers, there's so many, because I just knew of Old Faithful. And then all around Old Faithful, there's a mile or two kind of loop walk. And there's just tons of them everywhere. There they are erupting. It has little signs next eruption should be between 10:45 and 11:15 a.m. Sure enough, people would just sit there and wait, and then they'd get to see another one. It was Old Faithful wasn't as, I guess, because you see pictures and you're expecting, you already know what it is.
It was anticlimactic.
So many more of them everywhere was really impressed me more than just Old Faithful.
Yeah.
There's
it
other
was
ones
a
that are
little.
actually. There was other ones that actually shoot higher than Old Faithful. It's just Old Faithful is faithful. You know, they know exactly when it's and they know when it's going to go off. So, but yeah,
and it's been going
agree with
on
you guys.
consistently for I don't know how many years.
Yeah, it was a little anticlimactic, but you know, we saw it.
Yes, we saw it with my daughter last summer, and she was like, I see it as it's erupting. And we're like, you see it? And she's like, the little bird. And sure enough, like 10 feet in front of the stroller, there's a little bird hopping around. I'm like, yeah, that's not what we're looking at. It was really anticlimactic for small children.
For Claire, yeah.
So then one day we drove down to Grand Teton National Park. Who wants to talk about that?
I just want to say about this. For some reason, I left my phone in the cabin. And our cabin was here, and Grand Teton is the opposite side through the park, and
south of the
then
park,
even more south. I mean,
it was a Yellowstone Park.
It was a heck of a drive.
I think we were gone like 15 hours that day or something.
Yes, and when I got back to the cabin, I had about 35 missed calls, and I thought, "Oh my gosh,
you important?"
I am, because do you remember what happened though?
You don't remember, Matt?
I don't remember.
That's the day that someone was killed by a bear in Yellowstone.
Yes, right.
My dad and mom were losing their mind because then I'm not answering the phone, and they know I don't run, so they probably were thinking there's a good possibility.
It's a good possibility with Angela.
Yeah.
Also, you really left your phone because there's no cell service in any of
right.
And
then I wondered
in the last 9 years.
What did I use as my camera though? Like, I must have had a regular normal camera, which is crazy because who has that now?
I don't know, but I'm just remembering the fact that I had a BlackBerry when we went. So it's been a while.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A little keypad.
But if your mom and dad would have, known that the guy was hiking way off the main path, they would have said, "Oh, that's not Angela. She would not be hiking that far off the main path."
True.
But they also remembered the Southwest trip.
Oh, that's
so
true.
They're like, anything's possible with these kids.
It's true.
These kids, back when we were still called kids. Okay,
yeah.
So we went down.
Can I tell?
No, I was going to ask you to talk more about Grand Tetons.
That's about all I have for Grand Tetons.
Grand Teton, I mean, we didn't do a lot of hiking there, obviously, since we just spent one day there. But I do remember them being very impressive because they seem like they almost go straight up, and they're seem a lot closer. Like you can get a lot closer to these mountains than you can the ones in Yellowstone.
It's a drastic incline. I think they call those the sawtooth or something. So it's like you're looking at a lake and then boom, like mountains right there.
Right. Yeah. Where we looked at them, you're right. There was a lake in front of it, which is a very beautiful view of the lake, and then the mountains just shot straight up into the sky.
And really just cool. For people, it was just very pretty. That's it.
So I think Grand Tetons is more because I have been more recently. We went last summer, and it seems like there's a lot of hikers going there. More serious hikers, and then also there's a lot of water lake sports kind of people doing stuff with that, and so there's a lot to see in Yellowstone, but it seems like people that were more camping, hiking, wanting to kind of do those type of things were a lot we're going to see Grand Teton. Mm-hmm. We went to Jackson Hole.
Yes.
I'm sure we did some shopping.
Like that.
I don't remember.
Yes, I enjoyed Jackson Hole. Yes, I did.
We walked through the downtown little square area.
Right.
Yes,
remember that arch with all the deer antlers? We all took a picture there. That's a really kind of famous, well-known thing in Jackson Hole. You don't remember that?
No, I remember taking the tram. That's all I remember.
We took the tram up. That's what I was going to say.
Oh,
we took the tram up.
Which was really cool.
That was really neat. And
I freaked out on that. Yeah. It was nice.
You freaked out on it?
Yeah, I get nervous with stuff like that.
And also probably Bauer was shaking it or something, and you're like,
it was too much.
I could see that. I'm doing that.
So we drove from the north entrance of Yellowstone down to Jackson Hole and back in one day. Not recommended. This goes against my travel tip, which is don't overplan. You don't want to come home from your vacation
exhausted.
Right. Yeah. Like I need another 2 days to like to sleep. Which, so that trip definitely, it's hard with Yellowstone though, because we were there a week and it was just, every day there's something to see and somewhere to go and a lot of drive time. So with Yellowstone, like if you're going to do it in a week, you're going to have something to do every day easily.
And then when we come back to the cabin, because it was so nice, we were, having a good time there in the cabin. So it's not like we went to bed at 7:00 or 7:30. We were.
No, we were up till like 12.
Whatever.
Midnight, because we were young back then and we could stay up that late.
We could do that. We sure could. Yeah. Definitely not anymore.
No.
We were doing important things like dyeing my hair.
Yeah.
While on vacation. The reason I remember it, Angela, is because we had one bottle of like brown hair dye, and you and Jessica just started in, and then
I remember
about half of my head done, and you were like, "We don't have enough dye."
I just can't remember that. I could not believe that was your first time to dye your hair.
Like, I didn't buy 2 bottles of hair dye. Who buys 2 bottles of hair dye? And they're like, "You have a lot of hair," and I was like, this is a problem. Like I'm like half done.
Yeah.
We figured it out. So anyway,
so let's move on to Tennessee. How about that?
Yeah, let's talk about Tennessee. So Tennessee, we did plan better as far as not over planning. It was way more relaxing. It was us girls plus Matt.
Yeah.
And Beth.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was all girls though.
Beth and Katie.
I was about to say.
Shout out Beth, shout out Katie.
Yay.
And Matt. Matt was about to make some important decisions in his life. He was about to propose to Tracy. Hey, Tracy.
Yes. Hello, Tracy.
Matt's a beautiful and very patient wife, Tracy.
Bless her heart. Got a lot to deal with there.
On her way to
So I just remember we were in the car at one point and I asked Matt about like, so is this going to move forward? Like, I was kind of like, is this the one? Oh, I already knew it was the one, but is this going to move forward? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, really? Sometime soon? And he was like, well, I got a ring. And the whole car was like,
and
freaking out. And Matt's like, oh my, Matt literally put his hands up like, ah.
Yeah, because I have 3 brothers, so I don't know much about women in general. Not that most guys do.
I'm the closest thing he has to his
That
sister,
is a great quote. I don't know much about women.
So yeah, I when Betsy was asking me this, I was just
that hasn't changed in 9 years.
No, I know. I still don't know much about women, but yeah, when she was asking me, it's like, yeah, I bought the ring. I wasn't expecting all the women just to be like, what? And they just start asking me all kinds of questions. I'm just like, whoa.
I know.
Freaking out.
Like, maybe I shouldn't have told you guys that.
I was regretting it.
We were disappointed because we wanted to know everything about the ring and how you're going to do it, and you were tight-lipped or wouldn't share much.
No. But anyway, that doesn't have much to do with the trip.
No, I must say,
I remember because you were
I was. Yeah, it's true. I was. Good.
There was also several things that you went along with because we wanted to do them, and you didn't want to go to Dollywood at all, but it ended up being fun. They have a lot of fun rides and stuff.
Roller coasters. I got to ride roller coasters, so I was happy.
No.
And Angela was happy because she went shopping and saw the shows.
Do you remember after the first roller coaster, I was like, all right, I'm going to go shopping and y'all finish riding rides, because I wasn't doing any of those. I must say.
You rode 1.
I know. I rode 2.
Really?
Yes.
Are you counting the swings?
No. That's
not 3. A roller coaster, Daro.
3.
The swings don't count. My kids can ride those.
The first roller coaster, we just ran up to this roller coaster because there was no line and you couldn't see it. So as we're sitting in the car, I was looking and I'm like, what is that roller coaster over there that goes upside down? And someone said, that's this one. And the guy's buckling us in, and I was like, oh, I need to get out. I can't go upside down. And that's when I screamed that I was pregnant. And he wouldn't let me get off.
And Angela says, he wouldn't let me get off. And I said I was pregnant. And I said, first of all, he probably heard you screaming, and And then also everybody with you was crying, laughing so hard at you. So we probably didn't believe you.
Yeah, my heart is beating right now thinking about going upside down on those things. I can't do it. I just don't like doing it.
But your heart is also probably beating because you're thinking about the swings.
Oh, no, the second one was much worse. It was that mining one.
Oh,
and y'all made me ride on the front row. Y'all were like, okay, I don't know how y'all talked me into that one. And you stood up.
I say if it only has a lap bar, then you can't complain about it.
No,
you
that
stood
the one that
up
dropped straight down?
Yes.
Oh, that was
great. It went straight up, and you came over, and I thought, I'm going to lose my mind. And then, so I just shut my eyes and just opened my mouth and screamed the whole time. The whole time.
Which is what most people do on a roller coaster.
That is true. I mean, yeah.
It was so bad. I didn't even look. I didn't open my eyes the whole time. When we stopped, I said, are we done? We're completely done, right? And then I opened my eyes. It was so bad. So I went shopping, and I must say, these earrings are my Dollywood earrings.
Look at you guys. You guys are both very prepared with your attire. Matt has his Betsy's Crew shirt on.
Betsy's Crew from Alaska.
Matt.
Yeah.
And yours has held up well. The letters peeled off of mine, so
they're pretty. I don't know if you can tell, but they're starting to peel quite a bit. I mean, it is.
We can't tell.
Obviously, Tracy does laundry better than I do. Actually,
yours probably went.
Because I know you didn't wash that yourself.
How dare you assume that my wife does all the laundry around here?
No, I assume that you don't do laundry. That's the assumption here.
That is true.
Okay.
That's a good assumption.
Nothing against Tracy. Like I said, a beautiful and patient wife.
We have this magic basket in the bathroom. I just throw my laundry in there, and it gets cleaned, and it gets folded and put back in my drawer. It's amazing.
Insane.
Yeah. We have one of those too. Well, I should say Sean has one of those also.
Sean has one of those. Oh, good. Yeah. Good for Sean.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
He got it about 4 years ago. Okay.
Back to the trip.
I'm sorry.
I can't believe I'm reining y'all in. I can't believe it.
You're looking
for
more tangents.
Do you
what else
remember
we did in
this trip,
Smoky
though?
Mountains?
Hold on.
What?
I was going to say, Beth and I drove together from Hattiesburg, and you and Matt were in a car. And do you remember
I forgot that. Yeah, Beth
the only map
leaving Dallas and driving.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
The only map we had was on Beth's phone. And you and Matt were like, what if y'all lost? What if y'all lost? What's it called?
Cell signal.
Yeah.
Which is pretty common in the mountains.
Well, Beth and I were like, whoa, we didn't even think about that.
The city girls are like, what do we need a map for? What do we need a road atlas? And we're like, what if your cell phone loses service? And they're like, oh, I don't know.
Which we did a couple times, but we were like, I think we stay on this road for a while. So let's just keep staying on the road.
So within like 2 hours of being in Tennessee around Smoky Mountains, we're all in the car together and we lose service. And Angela and Beth are like, oh, okay, yeah, we can see your point. You know, Matt and I are more of the planners and the map people. Let's be honest.
I don't do the maps on trips. I just sit and enjoy the trips. Basically,
we're not enjoying them like some of them.
That is Angela in a nutshell on all our trips. I just sit back and enjoy the trips, and if I don't like them, I'm going to let you know.
I'm gonna for sure let you know. But
I'm gonna let you know every time you plan another trip what I need.
Yes.
Okay. But Matt, I can tell you, I went on one trip that Angela planned everything. It was New York City.
Yes.
It was amazing. The only thing I did was the map and the subway system. That is it. And then when I left, because I was only there for like a long weekend, and Angela and Johnette, shout out Johnette, stayed a couple of days after I left. When I left, I was like, okay, so this subway line and this subway line if you're going here. And they're like, oh, no, we're not. We're going to take taxis. We're not using the subway without you.
Yeah.
Like,
we're going to Uber or take taxis, which is what we did. And they're like, fine.
Let's be honest. The only reason we did the subway is because you were navigating it. And I'm like,
I don't like the subway either. I've learned that. I'm not a subway girl.
But
Angela planned everything. Yeah. We went to the Seinfeld Cafe.
Oh,
we went to a bunch of Sex and the City stuff. You'd be jealous.
Yep. You would so be jealous.
But the Seinfeld stuff you would be.
Yes, very jealous. Very jealous.
It was good. We We hit a 9/11. I mean, everything. We didn't.
The
do
9/11
everything.
stuff was the best, but that's another trip. So we'll talk. That was
we'll stop.
That was all our number one priority, and it was really, really, really great.
But with Angela planning it, you probably don't have any crazy stories about staying in a yurt or a hotel run by a young Dwight.
No,
like that.
With rats.
We had
a
hotel that was on like the 42nd floor overlooking Central Park. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
I've upgraded in life.
But there were several things that Angela was like, okay, do you want to do this with us, or do you want us to do it after you leave? One of them was tea.
High tea.
$90.
High tea at the plaza. And
tea.
Betsy was like,
you get high afterwards for $90?
Does that include staying there? And I was like, no, that's $500.
I was like, yeah. Do you get a hotel room? She's like, no. I'm like, do you get a steak? Like, what are you getting?
No, it's just tea. It's high tea.
So there were several things that I didn't know why this was special and didn't know it was a thing.
What is high tea?
It's so good. It's so good.
But Angela did so good. Everything was planned. Like I said, the only thing that I helped with was like navigating
the subways.
Yeah, she planned everything. It was great.
I mean, I can't do it all.
I enjoyed doing Angela. I enjoyed being Angela for that trip and just following along. What are we doing today?
It does sound nice.
It is pretty nice. It's a good life, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay, so also
I love Tennessee because it's hot. It's like it's hot. It's in the South.
And we did follow more of the second rule that I have that I've come up travel tip, which is don't overplan. So we planned like one thing every day. We had a way more relaxed schedule. So it felt more like a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really nice.
We spent probably 2 days in the park going on a hike or seeing stuff in Smoky Mountains.
Went up Kleeman's Dome in the park.
Yep.
Which is, I think everybody does that.
I don't know what that is.
That's
Look at your pictures. You'll see
That's the spiral thing.
That incline?
Yeah.
That really. Okay, yeah. I don't know names.
I'm gonna brag on my wife there, and the Kleeman's Dome. It's very steep. We went there a few years after that trip, and she was 5 months pregnant and climbed the whole thing.
Wow.
Nice. Way to go, Tracy.
Yeah, she had to stop a few times on the benches, slacker, but she still made it.
It was rough going, and I wasn't pregnant.
And Matt had an excuse that he
but
just
you were pregnant on the roller coaster.
It wasn't that he needed to stop. He just was being nice, stopping with her.
Right. Yeah.
That's too where we went on that trail. What trail is that called, people?
You could say it.
Appalachian Trail.
Appalachian Trail.
She mouthed it, but she was afraid to say it because she thought it was wrong.
Because I was going to pronounce it wrong.
That's correct, Angela. You got
it. Yes.
We went on that trail for a second.
Yes. Yeah.
It connected with where we were. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a really long trail. We were not going to do that with you, Angela, or probably even by myself.
Hell, I wouldn't do it.
So we did a couple days in the park, but there was really bad storms and rain, so we also had a little more downtime. We couldn't back to our cabin one time because the power was out. There was trees down on the road. Everybody's phones ran out of battery except y'all remember?
BlackBerry?
No.
I had a prepaid like old Nokia phone.
Oh my gosh.
I was just home for the summer from Belize where I was living. And so I had this little pay as you go phone that only had talk and text, and everybody else had smartphones. And so everybody's phone died and we had no way to charge them. And I was like, do you need to call someone on my phone? It has 95% battery. That was great. So we spent a day in Dollywood. We spent a day at wineries, we got some good wine. People
winery was awesome.
I think I still have some of that wine. I know I have one bottle because I bought one of those high heels that I rest a bottle on, and it's a pink bottle of wine, and I still have it. It's in my wine, in my little container. You've seen it when you've come over.
There's a lot of wineries in that area.
I was actually surprised.
We went to 3 different ones, I believe, when we were there.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then we went to something for you with like liquor or something.
A brewery?
Beer.
A brewery.
A brewery. Yes.
It wasn't just for Matt. I'm sure that Katie enjoyed as well.
Oh, Katie probably liked it.
It was a restaurant / brewery. I can't remember. It was something Bear. I don't remember the name of it exactly, but yes, it's a.
I have a picture of us doing the glasses, stacking them up. Do you remember we did that? And just. I don't know what we were thinking. Why did we do that? Why did you do that? Because that was all you.
The alcohol
but I'm right there.
consumed in those glasses is why we did that.
Yeah.
Oh.
We also
There's a lot of things that we do, Angela.
Yeah.
I don't remember the cruise.
No.
Both of you two.
Not this trip. Not this trip. Because because some people just don't need to know everything.
That's hiding.
Yeah, what do we talk about that? We did go to the Forbidden Caverns too. You remember that?
What is that? Was that the caves?
I said caverns, so yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, why don't you just say caves?
Well, I didn't realize that caverns was a big word for you, Angela.
Well, just say cave. Just say cave.
You can say.
But it's called. But the place is called Forbidden Caverns.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you know.
Was that that big field that we were like?
It's caves. What?
No, outside the caves.
I don't.
Ruby something? Ruby Falls? Did we see Ruby Falls? Am I making something up?
I think you drank too much wine on that trip. I don't remember that.
That sounds familiar, but
the caverns were cool. They were like lit up inside, and a lot of the spots were like they used like different colors of lights. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, Ruby Falls is a waterfall. It looks like. I don't know. Did we go there? It's that Lookout Mountain.
I don't remember going there. I think she's making this up.
I don't know. I'll be honest.
I don't know. Come on, Angela.
I mean, y'all
if neither one of Matt or I, if we don't remember it, then
you're the one who brought it up, and then you're like, I don't know.
Where am I even getting it? You know what I remember? I remember that really bad storm.
Wine.
I was away. I was away from y'all because y'all were riding rides, and I was shopping. And the storm hit, and the lady was like, "Oh, it's blowing really bad. Where are your friends?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I
don't care. I'm shopping.
I do remember that because we were in Dollywood when it was like tornadoes and craziness
it was terrible. And I spent a lot of money in that store because I had to stay in there for a while.
Shocker.
Meanwhile, we also had to stay inside, and I don't think I spent any money.
But where were y'all?
We were inside somewhere. We couldn't do the roller coasters because of the storm.
Yeah, it was really bad. That's what I remember.
I did learn a lot about Dolly Parton on that trip.
Yeah,
I like Dolly Parton museum inside the park.
Yeah, that was. You know what else I do remember? Riding go-karts.
Yes.
We did go-karts. That was so fun. And, we should do go-karts on every trip.
Yeah,
I think I won.
And I'm 100% sure I won. Yeah, and just
remember,
in case.
Bauer. What, you won because you're a man?
Can you see the picture?
You said it.
Oh,
wow.
Hold it steady, Angela.
So, this is me in the front.
Look how young you are, Angela.
I still am.
Oh, right.
Are we going to talk about looks? You ready for that?
She doesn't say age, Bauer. She's like, remember in 2011 when someone thought you were Betsy's father?
Yeah. So
that's it, Matt. You have no.
Just in case y'all didn't see, Bauer's behind me, and that's how it was the whole race.
Oh wow! Dang it.
Yeah. So
I love that. See, this is why she got her photo of herself. So she could like, boom.
Because honestly, y'all think I really remembered go-karts? No. I remember talking.
I got nothing.
I remember talking to an LSU fan while y'all rode the Eagle thing.
Yeah.
And he was nice.
Winged coaster.
The what?
Winged coaster.
I think I still have the cup. Because we bought those cups and then you can refill them throughout the park. That's the only thing I did with that Eagle thing.
Why would you keep that cup?
I still use it sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How long ago was that trip?
9 years.
Did you look it up? No, because Yellowstone was 9 years.
Oh, no, 8 years. I'm sorry, 2012.
2012. Wow.
Yes. June 30th, 2012.
We did a lot of trips over 4th of July. Oh, the quote book.
Oh, yeah. We did do a lot of trips over 4th of July, which is weird.
Yellowstone was over 4th of July.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have about 5 minutes left. And I was wondering if you would like me to do some selective quotes and see if you know who said it from our Yellowstone trip.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So let me just say, anyone, because y'all don't know what we're doing.
Oh, yes.
When we travel,
go ahead.
We have the travel quote book. So every trip has its own set of quotes, just random stuff people say.
Homemade tabs.
Yeah, it's just, and the very back too, it's all the states we've been to. So this is our Yellowstone. Go ahead.
So if you have ever been on a trip with the three of us, you are in this book. You are listed. Okay, here we go. Yellowstone, first quote. I am not an inside dog. Guesses? Matt, who do you think said that?
Not an inside dog.
Come on, quick.
I would say John Bauer.
John.
You are both right. It was John Bauer. Good job. You should recognize my voice. I spent the night with you last night.
Angela.
No, Betsy.
And then it says to John. Don't remember any of that. Okay, here we go. You know me. I'm a goody tissue.
Goody
you know
tissue?
Me, I'm a goody tissue.
It's one of the boys. It's either Matt or John.
Come on.
I don't know.
Take a guess.
I'm gonna say it's me.
Angela. Who do you think?
I said it was Matt or John. I'll say Matt.
It's Matt. Matt, you're a goody tissue. Okay.
Tissue.
Ready? I ruin dreams every day.
That sounds like me or Betsy.
No, it was me.
It was Angela.
It was
you
me.
Remember?
Yes, I remember saying that. I'm not saying why I said that, but I remember saying that.
I don't know why.
Hello?
Okay, this one, I don't know why this was ever said. He's a hot being. He's a hot being.
Angela.
I don't know if I talk like that.
It was me, and I said it about Matt.
Were you talking about his body temperature?
It was probably because he was threatening to take off his shirt again because he's always overheated and like, I gotta take off my shirt, it's fine here. And the rest
so hot.
Like, Matt, it's 72. Chill out. He's like, I gotta take my shirt off. So.
I am very hot.
Oh, this is what I remember. And while you're down there, can you grab my pen? This is someone speaking to the drive-through employee.
Yes. This is at the drive-through at 1:00 in the morning.
And they dropped the money and they had to go around and get it. They like crawled out the window and did a handstand to get the money. And then who said that? Angela? While you're down there, can you grab my pen? Okay, ready? Damn you, Matt Bauer, and your stupid corn palace.
Everyone on the trip.
Marissa. Is there another Mount Rushmore on the way?
Angela.
After the lights went off.
Yeah, because that stupid corn palace.
It was amazing.
It wasn't. It was like corn, dried corn.
It was not
People,
amazing.
Pass it up. Yeah.
I love Bob Ross. I go to sleep with him every night.
That was me.
That was Angela. Yep.
Bob, I do like him.
Oh, here we go. We're together on one check. Matt, about Betsy at dinner. Nice of you to buy your daughter dinner. John. And the last one. This is when we got very loopy. The time driving down to Grand Teton, that many hours in the car.
It was a lot.
It was just crazy. There was a cat guitar that was being tuned. Remember the cat guitar?
Oh, no? Yeah, I do remember.
Faintly, I remember.
And our theme song was "I'll Never Let You Go."
Oh yeah, but it's creepy. You're not doing it creepy enough. It was much more creepier. With your crazy eyes. Yes.
So that's still my theme song to John. Love you, John. I'll never let you go.
And I remember you talking about getting loopy on the way back from the Grand Teton. That me, Betsy, and Angela all started in the back of the van, and me and Betsy were being super obnoxious and annoying. And Angela, I think, she was really annoyed with us. And finally, we had to stop. And she's like, "I can't sit back with you guys anymore." She moved to the front, and John came back to sit with us. I think Angela was actually pissed at us. She was just like,
"Was I done? Was I Karen and just done with y'all?"
Well, no, you were justified. And then John came back with us, which was not a good idea. No. I think everybody was annoyed except me, Matt, and John. But no alcohol was involved. To go. No alcohol was involved. It was just people having fun on a road trip. Everybody that's been on a long road trip knows what I mean. You just get loopy. You're exhausted.
Yes.
And that we were in the van so much that trip from St. Louis there, and then that whole day we were in the van. And then remember, someone always had to sit in the very, very back. Normally it was Betsy.
Not always.
No, Jessica and Mark.
Back there once.
Crazy.
It was behind the back seat. Betsy slept back there one time.
Okay, so we are actually out of time. We might have
okay. So Matt, how did you like your first podcast experience?
You know what? I was nervous at first.
Let's move on. Let's go. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks for coming, Matt. And everybody, if you like our podcast, be sure to subscribe and the videos. We're happy to have you, Matt. Enjoyed having you. Remember our travel tip: don't overplan, don't overbook yourself. You got to have some time to relax. If you go to Yellowstone, there's a million things to see. You're gonna love it. Smoky Mountains are awesome, also.
And don't go to the Corn Palace.
And do not go to the freaking Corn Palace.
No need, people. Go to Mount Rushmore instead, because there's only one. Bye.
Bye.